Then go to our next test cases. I have prepared some test cases of try catch, and I have declared simple declare a class called example. In example, I have declared a non-static method word m1 method word m1 method. I write some message system the out of printer one, and I declare a try block. In try block, I will write three statements: system dot print two, system dot output three, system dot print four. That's a dummy message I written to show that how is the output. And I have created a catch block. I have written some exception. There is no particular exception. There is some exception. And here I write system dot print five, system dot output print 6, and system dot print 7. After the catch block, I am writing system dot print. It is not one. It is 8. It is 8, not 1. Yes. Then there is 5 test cases. So you have to go see the what is the control flow about the control flow about the test cases. The maximum written test SCGP OCGP exam point of view. First test case is there is no exception. There is no exception in this statement. There is no exception. If there is no exception, then control comes to here M1 method. In the M1 method, control print 1. Then there is no uh, there is no error, or you can call exception. Then control after that control enter to the try block. Statement control go to try block execute first statement 2. It's not print 2, then it execute 3, then execute 4, and there is no exception, so control doesn't go to the catch block, directly go to the outside of catch block and print this statement system 8. So if there is no exception, then control doesn't go to the catch block. So what is the output of this program? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. This is the output of this program. Okay, this is the output of program, and yes, this is the output of the program. If there is no error, control come to M1 method. It print the first statement system.1. Then control enter to the try block. In the try block, it print the statement 2, 3, 4, and after the complete of try block, control come back, go to the after the statement catch block. Then print 8. Okay, the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Okay. Then move to our next test cases. If there is exception rise in statement 1, if there is exception rise in statement 1, so I have to clean this. Yes. Ready our um, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the output. Second test case exception rise statement 1. If the exception rise in statement 1 is this. Exception rise in statement 1. Here exception rise statement 1. Then in this M1 method there is no try block, so it is not execute any try catch block, and it doesn't execute anything. So in this case, if the statement doesn't have contain any try block, it is not executed. Executed. The process is the execution is com- completed abnormal. The execution is completely abnormal. You can call as abnormal termination. You can call as abnormal termination. In previous test cases, complete execution is complete. There is no exception. So this is called normal termination. But in this case, there is no try catch block found. There is no use of try catch block because the statement one doesn't contain any try block. So it is not execute catch block. Automatically, it is abnormal termination. Okay, it is called abnormal termination. So I write this statement abnormal termination. Okay, this is case abnormal termination. Remove it, rewrite abnormal termination statement. If that exception rise statement one and the statement doesn't block, if the statement doesn't contain try catch block, then this abnormal termination. Then move to our third test cases. Third case is extension rise in statement 3 and catch block is matched. If the exception rise in statement number 3, here statement number 3, and the catch block is matched, what is the output? See, control as usual enter to the M1 method. In M1 method, it print first statement 1. It print first statement 1. It print first statement 1. Then control enter to the try block and print statement 2. Print statement 2. Then here statement 3 it got exception. Just imagine in statement 3 there is a exception rise. In statement 3 there is a exception rise. Then what is happening? Here it is exception rise. If there is exception rise in the statement, then the statement 4 not does not execute it. It's such the catch block is present or not. It's searching the catch block. It's searching the catch block and searching the catch block. We found that catch block matched with the exception. Suppose there is some exception called null pointer exception. Just imagine or any you know arithmetic exception rise in the statement, and the catch block is also contain the parameter type arithmetic exception. There is the exception type and catch block parameter is matched. So the control move to statement 3 to direct go to this catch block, and it executed statement 5, statement 6, statement 7, and after complete of catch block it print the 8 also statement 8, and the program terminated normal. The program execute normal. See, if the statement exception rise statement 3, what is the control flow? Control enter the M1 method, print 1, then after complete of M1 method, control come to the try block and print the statement present in the try block. Inside the try block, it prints 2, and just imagine if it is a if it is exception rise in statement, suppose 3 by 0. If I print 3 by 0, there is a got a exception. Or suppose in the place I write something 3 by 0. So 3 by 0 I write there is exception. There is a chance of came of exception. This is called arithmetic exception. Then control directly searching for any catch block matched with the exception arithmetic exception. Then it is found at catch block. Then execute the inside the catch block statement, and after the execution of catch block, it print the statement present after the catch block. This is how the execution process. Then what is the output? We got the output 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it is a normal termination. There is a normal termination. There is nation. It's a normal termination. Okay, this is the control flow of the statement. I think you understand my point. But I've tried to explain it in this example. Okay, move to our next test cases. I remove it. Here the output. Then move to our next test cases. If the exception rise the same statement three and the match a catch block not found. Match catch block not found. Then what is the what is the execution process? As usual, control come to the class and enter to the one method. And it print first statement one. It print first statement one. Then control come to the try block after complete the one method and it print statement 2, and statement 3 is having a exception. Just think, suppose it gave it has some exception called um, not pointer exception. It is contain exception called non pointer exception. Just imagine there is a non pointer exception rise in statement 3, then in the cache block there is no null pointer exception. No, cache block is if a parameter like arithmetic. The cache block having an exception in the parameter is arithmetic exception. Suppose a, just think here. Yes, it contain there is contain some arithmetic exception. Arithmetic expression, suppose a in the parameter it contains. I placed before in the place. Okay. In the sum exception place, it is an arithmetic exception, so that the cache block not match because it provide it it raises an exception called non-pointer exception, and you got exception called arithmetic exception. The matching not found on it. So, what is the execution process? Is such any matched parameter present or not in the in the same class? It is not found. Then created created some in the JVM created Java default handler. Okay, Java default handler, and go to the Java default handler and there store the exception. They store the exception. It is a null pointer exception, and the process is terminated abnormal because there is no output on it. That means after JP is going to there is no normal termination. So here I got a output that 1, 2, and abnormal termination. Got the output. Got the output like 1, 2, abnormal termination. Abnormal termination. 1, 2, abnormal termination. Okay. This is the how it is executed. If it is not cache block not matched, then it store the value into JDH. JVM by default store the value in JDH, and the program is stopped and execution stopped abnormally. Okay. Going to our next and last test cases. I remove it. Yes. We write the output 1, 2 abnormal termination. Then last one is exception rise statement, same statement too, and a catch block is matched. Not now. Catch block is matched, but then again exception rise in statement 6. Again a statement exception rise in statement 6. What is the control flow? See, this is similar to the like previous stage cases, but some small changes. Okay. See, same process control come to the M1 method, print first statement 1, then going to try block, enter the try block, control and print just 2, and just in statement field exception rise. Okay, here is exception rise, and suppose the exception name is arithmetic exception, and the catch block also the exception present mass arithmetic exception. Then control come to here to control move here to this catch block. The catch block is matched, then it print just 5, and again in statement 6 there is exception, and the exception doesn't contain any catch block. Then it go to the JDH, go to the JDH, go to JDH, and the exception stored there. By default, it is happening in the JVM, and it stores the exception name, suppose arithmetic expression, suppose, and the process is terminated abnormally. The execution is terminated abnormally. When when the try catch block, the exception arise and the catch block doesn't match, then by default it is go to the JDH internal concept, and the execution is terminated abnormally. The execution is terminated abnormally. It is the default. Suppose this is the test case about try catch. If there is a final including, there is a next. There is a another process. This is another statement and another process. This is how it is executed. First exception is no exception. Second exception rise statement 1. Third exception is rise statement 3. Catch block matched. If catch block not matched, there is a fourth test cases. Fifth case is expression rise in statement 3. Catch block, and the exception rise in statement 6. So this is about some test cases. Finally, here we got the output 1, 2, 5, and abnormal termination. You see, always remember that if the try block create any exception, that means in the try block if you got an exception and the catch block is matched, then the execution is normal execution. There is no exception. Okay, the program run normally. If it is if in a try block there is a found exception and the exception doesn't match with any catch block, then this is called abnormal termination, and the program stopped. Okay, the program stopped. This is the control for the statement of try catch. I think you got a clarity about this. Thank you for watching my video. For more video, like, subscribe my channel.